Greetings, everyone. Welcome again to the Business Application Show. So, you guys know that we discussed about the Power Platform and business applications here. So today on the it's holiday Holi here. If you guys know that, so we are celebrating Holi in daytime and evening. We are connected here to take this business application. So I have with me my friend Venkat. So here, let me share my screen. So today we are going to talk about the Power Pages web roles. So we, from the last couple of sessions, we have discussing here. Let me share my screen. Venkat, just confirm that if you can see my screen.
Sure, sure. I could not see it yet.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can see now.
Okay, perfect. So, from last couple of sessions, we have been discussing about the Power Pages, and in last session we said that we will be discussing about the web roles. So here we are today with the web roles. So we'll start with the basic introduction about the web roles and why it is needed and what all the components of the web roles, how the table permissions are part of the web roles, and how they control the security of the Power Pages. And then we will discuss that what are the default web roles that is available. So when you set up that Power Pages website, you get some default web roles there. So we'll discuss that. Oh, okay. What are all the default web roles are there? And of course, if you want, we can create our own custom web roles depending on our requirement. And then we will have touch based on the table permission. We will discuss that what are the table permissions are there, how we can set up them, and what is their functionality, what is their use. And then we'll discuss about that access level. So web roles are basically these combination of these three things, that internally we can say like two things: the table permission as well as that access levels. So then we will see the demo on this. Okay. So before jumping into that, let's have a quick introduction about ourselves. Myself, Mahender, and I have my friend Venkata with me. So we both are Microsoft MVP as well as CSharp Corner MVP. So we have been working with Dynamics, 365 now, and earlier used to call it Dynamics CRM. It's like more than 10 years now. So yeah, that's our quick introduction. So now let's move to that first slide. Okay. So uh, if you are already working with the Dataverse, so you are working with the model driven apps, whether it's you are building model driven app from the Power Platform, or you are using the any first party app from Microsoft, like sales app, customer service, field service, so whatever app that you are using. So in that we have a concept of the security role, which basically handle that how you can see the data of your model driven app, whether it's a custom table or the existing Microsoft table. you know how you can access the data, up to what level you can access the data, what are the operation that you can perform on the set of tables. Okay. So you can create, write, delete, or associate them to the another record, or another record can be associated to the current record. So all these permissions are basically part of the security role. Now when we are working with the Power Pages, when we are building our website, and in the website we discussed in our earlier session that we can use different way to get it data from the Dataverse tables. Like we can use the web templates, we can have that create the view and put the list on the any web page, and you can see the data, right? But how this data is visible on the page is that is behind the scene dependent on the web roles. So web roles are basically just like a security role, and under that web roles we have different table permission which define that what you can do in that table. Okay, so the permission that I was referring here is like you can, you can create new record from the portal, you can open that existing record, it means you can read that record, and if you want to do any modification, so you have a write permissions. Okay, so if there is some record that is present on the power pages on your portal, you can go ahead and do the modifications. So for example, let's say you are working with the, any the power pages website where we have exposed your customer data, or maybe your vendor information, or maybe your case information, where you can see that okay, are the cases which you have registered and what are the status of that. Okay, and when you want to create that case, so you have a create permission or not. If you want to open any existing case and do some modification, can you do that or not? So all that are basically part of the table permission. So under the table permission, we can combine all these things, and then based on your table permission, it will get the data from the dataverse to you, and whatever your permission is there, that data will be rendered to your web page. Okay, so that is basically the web roles. And if let's say when we are browsing any website, so normally we have two type of user that we consider on the power pages. So either you are a authenticated user, means you have entered your credential to access that power pages, any particular page or power pages website, right? Or you are simply browsing it and you have not entered your credentials here, so then you are basically a anonymous user, means you are non authenticated user, so you have not entered your credentials. So those two type of thing, that's basically both two type of user, like authenticated or non authenticated. What type of data that these two users can see, that totally dependent on the web
Mahender,
roles table.
Can you go to the third slide and make it as in full mode? Yeah, we see the total PPT.
Okay,
Just
so
make it the slideshow.
yeah, this you're not able to see my slide here. Like right now, I'm the default web roles.
Yeah, yeah, we are seeing the total PPT with all 1, 2, 3, 4 slides. Yeah,
Oh, just 1 minute.
yeah.
Sure.
Display from current slide.
Okay, let me do. I think
That's
let me
fine.
share it again.
Yeah, yeah.
I think let me do one thing. Actually, I was sharing that window one. Let me try to share this complete entire screen, and let me know. You can see that introduction slide now.
Not yet. Yes. Yeah. Fine.
Okay. So that's what about the web roles here. Now let's talk about that default web roles. Okay, so that what I was referring here, that when you set up a vanilla power pages website, so you have set up the power pages environment, you will see that there are some default web roles that is automatically available there. That is, when you set up the vanilla, so all those web roles are basically provided as a part of the your power pages setup. So the first thing is the administrator. Okay. So this is for the admin user who are basically responsible for managing your complete website. Okay. So your Power Pages website, like they want to, create a pages, or they want to change the layout, or they want to manage the user. So all these are basically part of the admin user. So normally this is given to whoever is the power user. So on the to the power user we provide this kind of web roles, and they have access to the everything which is part of your web page, like complete power page website. So they have full control over that. And if you are an admin, then you don't require any specific table permission, right? Because you are admin, so you can access every table data, and whatever thing that is exposed on your power pages website, you will have access to that. Okay, so that's basically the super power user, that we have the admin user. Okay. Now, the other two category that I was referring here, that are you are a authenticated user or you are a not authenticated user. So these are two different users. So authenticated user means you are entering some kind of credential to be part of this power pages. Like when you enter that detail, so we have different ways, right? You can use a standard contact record where we have username and password, or you can use that Azure AD to log into that. So using those different things, you entered your credentials, and then you basically become a authenticated user. And then the set of thing that is exposed to this user, that will be available to you. Okay. And if you don't enter any credentials, you are basically an anonymous user, means you are just browsing the website. So for example, this is very typical example when you are browsing any website. Okay, so if you go to some company website, or you want to see some Microsoft what is new changes on the Microsoft side, or power platform websites. So you are basically the anonymous user. You have not entered any credential to that. You are just browsing their data. So whatever data is exposed, that is exposed to the every user who are basically not a authenticated user. Okay, so these are the three type of web roles that is available by default. And when you set up that user, so there is a way that you can say that, okay, when this user is created, automatically I want to assign this authenticated or anonymous user. So these type of thing you can set up on these web roles. So automatically this will be added to the user. So then the contact record will automatically have this web role. So there is a setting for when we create set up the the portal contact, there is a setting here. And this is on the web roles as well. We can define that, okay, which user this web role will be applicable by default. Okay, so this is these three web roles that is there. But of course, here when we have our own custom requirement, we go ahead and we set up our custom web roles. So now, as I said, that the web roles are basically the core component here is the table permission and the access level. Okay. So the table permission basically define that what type of operation you can perform on the table. Okay. So let me take an example that we are building a power pages website, and we are exposing our product information or our users case history. So whatever case they have registered to in our website. And there is, let's take an example, we are a service based company, and we provide support on our different product, or maybe we provide service on the different third party products as well. So a user can go ahead and they can create case there, and they can when they will create a case, we will get that case, and some this customer support executive will work on that, and they will resolve that case. Okay, so let's take an example that we are in that kind of scenario. So here, now on the page, like let's say we have created one page, and in that one we have the case one. Okay, so here the first thing that we can see here, so in the table permission, like here we provide the name of the table. Okay, what is the table that we want to set up, and this is basically the name of your table permission that you want to keep. So you can just keep, like for example, access to the account data. It means that in this table permission we are going to configure for the account. Okay, So under this drop down, you will be able to see all the mostly all standard tables that you have created, whether it's a out of the box table or you have a custom table. So those type of table you can see under this. And then we have the access type here, so that we will discuss in the next slide. So this defines here on what level you can do these things. For example, you can read the data, but up to what level you can read the data, that define these access level. So read means you can read, you can see that record. So this is the minimum permission that you required if you want to interact with the record. Okay. So read, you can read that record. Update, if you want to do any kind of modification, you want to write something. Okay. So you want to update, let's say you want to write description of the case. Okay. Or you want to change the status of the case if there is something that, some question is there that is asked for you. You can write the question and you can assign back to the whoever is working on that case. So that kind of thing is there. So update, so it means you want to do some modification of the record. Okay. Create, you want to create new record, like say you want to register new case from the power pages web page. So this is the create permission. Delete, you want to delete some case. And then we have the append and append to. Okay, so these are basically, and as I said, that these are similar to what we have here on the our security roles as well. So append and append to is basically these works in both are related. Okay, so let's say for example we are talking about that account. Either this account can be related to contact, or contact can be related to account. Okay, so that's what we have here, that if we can append this to someone or some other record can be appended to this. So those set of permissions are basically here when we define the table permissions. Okay, and then we have the role here. So that's basically that, okay, we are creating this table permission, but on which web role we are going to use these table permission, that's what we select here. So when we create our custom web roles, we can select that web role from here. Yeah. And then these are the standard one, and then we have the child permissions. So these child permissions are basically when we have one table related to another table, right? And based on you are accessing your parent table as well as you want to access the child records like the related entity as well, that time we select these child permissions. Okay, so that's we will also discuss on the global when I will discuss this access level, and we can also show you this on the demo, so just it will be more clear on that. So access type. So here we can see that this kind of similar to that what we have the access level in the security roles, right? So in the security roles we have different type of label. So similarly here we have different type of access level that is available, and we can call it like access type. The first thing is the global one. So if you have, let's say, in the case you have read permission and the access type is global, means you can access all the cases that is part of your environment. Okay. So whether they are related to your a particular customer, or they are related to another customer, so you will be able to see everything. So this is like kind of a complete organization data, so you are able to see the complete cases of the organization. So that's what we have the global access type. And then second is the contact, and that's we mostly use here, where basically we can get the data where our contact is related. Okay, so let's take an example that we want to see the list of that account where my contact is related. Okay, so based on that we can set up the access type, and I want to see that, okay, let's take an example that one contact is associated to multiple accounts. Okay, So maybe they are providing some kind of support to that customer. So one contact can be associated to the multiple accounts. So then we can use this type of thing. Or if not multiple account, even with the single account as well, so using that contact we can access that account if they are related to this particular account. Okay. Now, the self one is basically that is your own record. So, for example, if you, let's say, if this portal user, when they logged in, so they have access to the current record. So in the there is a page where they can go ahead and their do their modification about their name changes, their email, and all those. So there are kind of a profile pages there, so they can do those changes. So that's kind of the self, that is example one. Okay. Then we have the account. Okay. So the account is like basically you are going to access those set of record which is associated to your account. Okay. So let's take an example that we have one account record and the portal contact is associated to this account. Okay. And then this account is related to another set of records. So whether it's a case or maybe the parent account of that account. So using this access type we can access that other related records which is linked to that or which is related to the parent customer of this particular contact. Okay. So for example, a contact is logged into the portal and that contact have a parent customer. Okay. And that parent customer have, let's say, other child accounts or the parent accounts, or they have the related cases, and we want to see those set of records, so we can access use this account access type. Okay. So that's what we have. So up to this we have basically direct option that we can use, perform the direct table permission, and we can set up all these things here. Okay. Now the parent one is basically that is part of the child permission, so that we were seeing in the earlier slide on the child permission. So you set up one on the main page, you set up one permission, and then using that particular permission, you want to reach to the other level. Then we use the parent access type, where in the first screen, the permission that you have set up, it use as a context, and then using that, it reach to the related record. Okay, so let me give you an example here, just like that. If let's say I have one customer and I want to access that case record of that customer. Okay. So using that account, let's say if using that account, I am able to access that account, and then using that account I have access to that cases of that. But let's take an example that there are sub accounts, there are parent account of this account, and I want to access those cases which is related to either this sub accounts, child account, or the parent account. In that case we have to use this parent one, which will help us based on the particular account we can access the child or parent account cases. Okay. So this basically we use under the child permission here. So when we set up the table permission, there is an option to create a child permission, and when you will click on that, there we select that this type of access type. Okay. So that's what we have here on the access type. So I will pass mic to my friend Venkat, and he will show you that how we can create these table permissions and how we can use these access types on the demo, so that it will be more clear to you. Okay, so Venkat, over to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Mahender, for a wonderful explanation. So let me go to the demo part. Please confirm me whether you can see my screen. Okay. Hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it. Yep.
Okay. So, okay. So here, as you mentioned here, so what I'm going to do it is just as per the previous sessions, just I have created few pages for it. Okay. So the first page I have created the security one is on one of the page that I have created just by or edited just by creating this one. I have just selected this one as in one. Okay. After doing that, I came to here and then just I have added this particular component that is the edit list. So for this particular list, I have given the case as my one of the entity, and in that particular entity, I have selected the active cases. So now I am going to create one table permission. This is how you can create a table permission. There is new, enter the table name and select the table that you wanted to do it, and then the access. So here the first session, the first demo which I am going to tell you about the global axis. So just I am going to select this particular global axis, and then I can select the permission, and then I can add these rows that is authenticated users. That means only authenticated users can see this particular page. Okay, so I have this one. So if you observe the case, global access is present, permission is this one, and can they can delete authenticated user. Just I am saving it. Okay, now just I have to click on sync, because to reflect the changes we need to click on this particular sync. In the .NET world, it is nothing but clearing the cache so that the latest changes will get published. So if you go back to here, just I am logged in. See this security one. So if you observe, this is the case list view that is present, where I can see which are what are all the cases that are present inside my system, because this is an authenticated user. Okay, just if you see the anonymous user, if you click on the security one, then if you observe right, you will see this one. You don't have the permission to view these records. So here one important thing that you have to consider it. So whenever you are starting any particular development with respect to the permissions, right, you will configure that respective view, and you will create that particular table, and then you create uh, you edit the permissions, and then you will just come back, and when you try to log in, after login, when you see it, you don't get these particular records. So the reason is, as we have used the authenticated users as in web role, that means only the signed in users can only see it. So now if you observe, just I am trying to sign in. I'll show you the example of both the Microsoft Entra logged in user and also the normal user. Okay. So now that is how I can log in with the normal one, Microsoft Entra, which is recommended by the Microsoft. Just for login user, this is for this demo purpose only. Just I am using my local login. If you observe, you see it here. So if you observe, these are all the cases that we have got it. So if you observe in this security one page, what is that we have done is, so just we have used this permission, active case permission, the case is the table, and the access type is the global access. And I have given the permission read, delete, update, and create. This is purely optional. If you wanted just read permission, where you wanted to just show in read only grid, then you can give this one. But if you wanted to provide the other operations where you wanted to do it, then we can provide this update, create, and delete options as well. The basic thing is, here we have to specify the add roles. If at all I don't specify here anything, and then just save it. That means any people, any person, whether before login logging in also they can see it. So just you can see it now. Okay, now just I will refresh my screen. Do you see it? Uh, See, I have removed all the respective access. Okay, even though I'm a logged in user, I don't see it. And let us see if at all anonymous users can see it. Okay, so even the anonymous users also they cannot see that one. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go back to here, and then just I will give it this one. I will edit the permissions. Go back to here, and I will add the roles, and I will see that anonymous users and authenticated users can see it. I will save this one, close it, and I will sync this one. Do you see this one now? So I have not logged in. That means I am an anonymous user. Still, I can see this particular details of the cases which are present inside my system. So generally, in normal use cases, uh, there are few information that can be shown to users, to all the users which are not logged in also. So we have to identify those particular tables and those respective data, and we can give that one. Now let us go back to the next one, that is next the account access that is present. So here just the same steps that I have followed. I created a page. For that particular page, I have selected some edit list. So if you observe the table, I have used the account, and I have selected the views as an account active accounts. And now this is the edit views. If you wanted to create any edit filter, you can do that one, but I am not going to do it. Okay, so let us see it here. So the first thing which I am going to tell you about, okay, the contact axis. Okay, so first we said about the global axis. Next, I am going to tell you about the contact axis. Okay, so first what you have to do it right. So the table which I am going to show it is a account, and the contact axis that I am going to give this one, and the relationship is the account primary contact. That means I am going to give the access of the logged in contacts company's account. Okay, so just I have provided this read update and create one as a permission, and then just I have created one. I have added and one more role. One is the authenticated users, and another one is the custom web role contact. So here, let me go back to the web rules. Okay, it's fine. Go to the security, and here are the web roles. I have created this particular web role, that is a custom web role contact. So it has the access, it has all the access of all these pages, and also it has the table permission, that is account. It has an permission, and also the account table, it has the permission. So this is how just you can easily create an particular web role, that is a custom web role, where you don't want it to use any administrator anonymous or authenticated users, which we will get it as an out of box. So I'm going closing it here, and I'm going back to here. So going back to here, so the contact access, so account contact has an access, and the account primary contact. Okay, so first I will, so this is how you can perform this particular permission, and just I have included the permission also, that is contact customer contacts is the one that I have given. So the child permission you can create it like this. So just you have to enter the name, the table and the relationship and the related tables that you have to do it and the permission. So this is how you can perform this one. Now let us just log in here. So if you see it here, you see this test account too. Now let us correlate like how this particular test account 2 was been came. So let us go back to accounts. See it here, the test account 2. Okay. So if you observe for this particular test account 2, I have my the primary contact is this one. So here, what is this one? That means for the logged in user, that is for code Venkat P, I am trying to show the account that are present. There is a parent account who is there that I am going to see it. So now let us go back to here and see it in this particular rule permission. See, account, contact access, and account primary contact. That means whatever the logged in contact that I have used for its parent company, whatever that is there, that I am going to show it here. So if you observe, for the logged in user is a code Venkat P. Okay, so just I am going to this profile and see this one code Venkat P, and these are the things that are present. So just I am going back to here, and if you see test account 2 is present. Okay, so this is how you can use this process of the access type as the contact access. Okay, so that means get me an account whose parent account is the logged in users, that is logged in portal contacts parent account or the company account. So if you wanted, if you have these kind of scenarios, like just now I showed it as in contact and its company, the same way you can go with the contact account and the cases as well. So the major thing here we want to consider is the relationship we have to specify it, account primary contact, because these two are the out of box tables. That's why I got these respective ones. But if at all there are some other custom tables are present, then you have to select your relationship accordingly. So if you observe here, this one, just see it here. I have given the access to the authenticated users and the custom web role contact. So as I have logged in with this user, and for this portal contact, the parent. So if you observe here, for this portal contact code Venkat P, its parent account is this one. Okay. So this just in reverse way for this particular tech account, who is the primary contact is this particular primary contact. And here I have given the access to the custom web role contact and the authenticated users. Now let us sign out and see I got this particular test account too. I will try to access this same page with another user login, okay, and see what is that I am going to get it. So if you observe right, even though I was an authenticated user, okay, I don't see the record. But here the point is for this criteria, that means for this logged in contact, which I have used for the with the Entra login, that does not have any account, that does not have any company. That's why I don't see it. But see the same way, if I see I am not an authenticated user and also I am not a special privileged user. Now, so now I'll try to access this particular security too. If you observe it, I cannot access it. The reason is for this particular security too, I have given one more thing is page settings. If you observe the permissions, anyone can see this page. I have disabled this one. Only I have said I want to choose who can see this page. That is authenticated users and this customer web role contact. these people can see that particular page. Whereas if you go to the security one, that is the first page which I have given, I have not configured anything. That's why anyone can see the page. That's why even though the person who did not log in, they can see this particular page. Okay. Now going back to the next scenario of it, that is the same security to one, which I am going to do it here in the permissions. I'm going to see about the another one, that is access to account data, that is account and the account access. Okay, so here I'm going to show you about I am going to show you the parent account of an selected account. So for that, what we have to do it, we have to select this table and provide the type as account access and the relationship as account and parent account. And you have to provide this permission as is, and you can provide this add rules as authenticated users and the custom role contact. So first, let us sign in here and see it. Going back to the security 2 page, if you observe, I see this particular test account. Okay, now let us go back to see it here and the data wise, like where is this particular test account uh, one is there. Okay, so I am going to the test account one. You see it, it has the parent account test account 4. Okay, so for this particular test account 4, who is the primary contact? This particular primary contact. That means if at all you have a scenario where for the logged in users company, and if you wanted to show the parent account of that particular logged in users company, then you have to use this account access role. So if you observe right, the login that I have used is this one, that is code Venkat. If you see, this is the code Venkat. Just I am going back to this one. So for this particular user, the company name is test account 4. That means this is the parent company. And for this parent account company, who is the one is the parent account, the test account. Okay. So like that you can do it. So let us go back to here and see the test account 1. Okay. So finally here for this test account, what is the parent account? There is test account 4. So just for the logged in user, I have this parent account as test account 4, and for this test account 4, who is the parent is the test account 1. That's where you can see these particular details. If suppose I try to, okay, if okay, what I will do, right? So as of now, if you observe for this particular security 2 page, I have not enabled for the anonymous users. So for that, what you have to do it is just go back to this particular design studio and go back to here, and then go back to the page settings and go back to the permissions, and then give this authenticate and custom role web contact as well. Now you can click on sync. Okay, now I click on sync. So after that, you can click on this preview. Now I will log out. You should see. So I will sign in because I have given the access of this security hyphen 2 page for the authenticated users and the custom privileged users. So now I'll try to log in with the authenticated user you see it? Security 2, I can see it. Okay. So in this way, one can easily perform this security related access privileges. And in the same way, for permissions, one can easily provide on the self access, like if at all you wanted to see only the respective contact related details, that is only the self records which have that one, then you can use this particular one. So for the interest of time, just I have not explained this particular self access, but you can easily try it about. This is how you can do it for the global access, contact access, and account access, and the self access. Because if you also observe it, in order to explain this one, I have used the same page, but on the same page, I can have the multiple table permissions also I can present. The only thing is we have to configure our data in such a way such that in the same page I can use the different combination of the table permissions. So with that, my demo session has been completed. Over to you, Mahender.
Thank you, Venkat. Thank you for explaining this table permission and the access type. And we'll continue on discussing more stuff from the Power Pages on our next sessions. So thank you for joining us today. Keep watching, and all our sessions are available on C Sharp Corner TV, so you can watch there and share with your friends. So stay tuned with the for the next episode. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks everyone.